Now, will you be using the mic?
No, I don't think so.
No? We're never gonna get good audio with you guys, that's okay.
So,
I'm gonna sit up front because I'm wearing my hearing aids. I didn't hear very well, that's okay, I have my hearing aids. You start
ready?
again?
ready.
So, did you want to say something? Oh, okay. We'll do that when we introduce you. Hey, well, yeah.
I'd like to introduce, I guess he passed away as Ulli, right?
Ulli.
Okay. He's Ulli
Draheim.
Draheim, who is not a professional with kites, but rather an amateur like myself with kites. And he is rather an expert in kites. And he came all the way from Germany and brought a lot of kites with him. He's a collector and has some of the best ancient antique German kites in the world in his collection. And he's going to tell us a little bit about the relationship between teddy bears and kites.
Yes.
And I also want to present him from the family, from the Bell family.
Fairchild,
That's
that's at the end.
That's
Oh,
all
right
right.
at the end.
David,
All right. I'll do that at the end. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Excellent. Thank you very much, David.
Okay.
Now, Ulli is someone that, put it this way, I had this rare Russian kite. It was a rescue kite with a transmitter. It was one of the few in the whole world that there was. And I thought, you know what, it's being wasted here in North America, so they don't appreciate it. Europe, they have all these amazing kite historians, the rest of it. So it's like, okay, well, who do I entrust it to? I emailed everyone. Got all the different gossip about everybody. There was one person they all agreed on, and that was Ulli. Ulli was the one that they all trusted. He's the one who has it. And now he's the one actually that we're maintaining it with. Just a bit of a fuller profile of Ulli is that he'll never forget the scent of his first kite he built. And that's important because when they opened a drawer here 2 days ago, Ulli went over and then he touched it. So it's very true when he says that he'll never forget the scent. I don't know if it's a German thing or whatever. It was made out of wooden strips and covered with waterproof wrapping that smelled of coffee and chocolate. And he was 12 years old, and he still remembers that. For more than 2 decades, Hans has been interested in the history of kites, as well as kites of history. This is why he collects everything that he has to do with kites, kite books, kite t-shirts, kite spools, kite winders, and more. His most prized historical items are a French Dauphine kites older than 100 years, but not a Rogers walking stick kite.
No, we're talking that about.
Hans also holds a large collection of American, British, Russian, and German antenna kites, as well as historical transmitters and radios. He has many original Steiff roll-plan kites, and an original Rogers patent walking stick kite. So you have one.
You have one. We have two together.
Okay, we're probably the only two people in the world that have these kites. So I'm glad I came. You know, this is basic things you find out at these seminars when you come to the Bell Museum. A collection of kites made by Robert Brasington from Tasmania, who's a very great artist, and Robert Chapenier of Quebec, who is an amazing artist, and a few large coyotes and Saul's kites. He's a specialist for hygiene, healthcare, and environmental medicine with the Public Health Department in Lower Saxony, Germany. You're going to find this really interesting, a bit different from the other presentations, but that's why we brought this unique collection of folks together. Have fun, enjoy, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, first I have to explain, he said Ulli and then he said Hans. That means my real name is Hans Ulrich, but I think that's too long and the whole world knows me under Ulli. Yes? Okay. At first, welcome to my lecture. Before I start with my presentation, I would like to apologize for my English, which is not very good. I will try to do my best, and I hope you can understand everything I say. If not, give me a question. I would also like to apologize in advance for not sticking to the time limit. That's my problem. So if you think my lecture goes too long, say stop, enough, whatever. Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this event. I'm very proud to be here, to be part of an event in which enthusiastic collectors came together with historians and experts from many other fields to meet the family of the genius Alexander Graham Bell. Proud to be here to inspire one another and to learn from each other. In my historical view, I think this region of Canada is beautiful and it's very important for us. Bell, Marconi and others who have changed the world sustainably worked here, did research, lived here, had to accept defeats and could celebrate their success. To me, today's event is a start into a journey back in the past, onto which I would like to take you with me. During the next 42 minutes, I will take a little journey through time, back to the past. I want to take you back into the late 19th century, to the other side of the big water, and especially to Europe, and more precisely to Germany. In the deep of Germany, near the city Ulm, lies the city of Gingen. And Gingen, in these times, was very famous for teddy bears. Do you know teddy bears? If not, I will show you maybe.
Just in case you don't know.
This one too. No, you don't need it.
Can we play with them?
You can keep it, you can play, you can talk with him. It's very nice. So thank you very much. And it's for you. I have something for you too. Okay. So, now we can start. Here do you see a teddy bear. The title of my lecture will be From Bears to Flights, the history of the Steiff kites in Germany. Here's something more to my person. I'm a member of the German kite club Daddel Hanover. Daddel is an abbreviation. In German that means Drachen an der Leine. In English means kites on the string. And the name Leine got a double meaning. It means the name of the river through Hanover. And I think that's the funny thing. Then I'm a member of the Midland Kite Flyers, Great Britain, because they got a wonderful red shirt. And that was for me the reason to be a member since 12 years to this club. Okay, here's the roller clown we talk. But how came we to this roller clown? Important was to know something about this man. You see, that's Richard Steiff. He was a creator, the constructor of the roller plant. I told you in the very deep south of Germany, near the city Ulm, lies the city Gingen. There, Richard is born on the 17th February in 1877. At this time, nobody anticipates that one day Richard Steiff will invent a kite that will be one of the best sold kites in the world. I talk from the roller plant. Richard enjoyed a rather common childhood. After finished school, he studies at the Stuttgart Art College. Also focusing on the study of building styles, the animals in the zoo fascinates him much more. So he studies and draws them. After having finished his studies in 1897, 20-year-old Richard enters the company of his aunt Margarete. He was the mom of all the puppets, dolls and animals, toy animals. At this time, the factory Steiff, the Margarete Steiff's factory produced small elephants that are used as pin cushions. I hope you know what that means. For me, it was new. Besides, all kinds of animals are produced as toys. In 1902, Richard Steiff has got a brilliant idea. He designed a bear that has movable arms, legs, and a movable head. That was revolutionary. This kind of bear is revolutionary and became a bestseller, first of all in the United States of America. Approximately 12,000 toy bears are sold during the first year of production. In 1908, Richard Steiff has got another brilliant idea and presents a roloplan, a kite that he has developed. But the question, but how did Richard Steiff get the idea to producing a kite besides to the toy bears? Richard was interested in the work of Otto Lilienthal, you talked yesterday, who has died in 1896. Being an attentive observer, Richard Steiff had gained insights into the flight of birds. Furthermore, Richard Steiff was inspired to the kites of the Earl of Zeppelin. I think you know the Zeppelin on Lake Constance, the airships. As a young boy, he visited the airships and visited sometimes the lake, the lake and the Earl of Zeppelin. He was inspired by the kite of the Earl of Zeppelin, who had established a kite station in Friedrichshafen at Lake Constance in 1905 in order to do weather research for his airships. Besides, there is any assumption that Richard Steiff knew about the kite of William Abner Eddy through his contacts of North America. The roloplan Steiff became the most important of the sales, for the sales of the company during the first 10 years, for the years after World War I. At international shows, the roloplan kite won many prizes. This might have been the reason why Richard Steiff never made any major changes or further developments of the first time roloplan. I hope you have seen my collections in the hall. If you see all the rolloplans, there are no change. There are some different kites in this collection, but the roloplan never changed. On the other hand, World War I and the scarcity of material that went along with it prevented the diversification of the kite, product range and the increase of production. But all this did not keep Richard away from kite experiments. He flew roloplan kites in a chain. This is a wonderful picture, you see, the chain. His standing remembered a little bit on the standing of Cody, all strange in the former lecture. Maybe men in this time had to stand in this position.
They had to stand still for the camera, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the reason. Needs a long time. And he was interested in using kites for photography. It's very popular, I think here too for KIP and for manlifting, like Cody did. Early quite, he recognized the value of kites at advertising media, just like Henry Sounds or Frank Steiff. Maybe you know Frank Steiff. I'm very proud to get a kite, the original kite from Frank Steiff. This nice man in the background, give it to me, Paul. In 1923, Richard Steiff emigrated, that was new for me, to the United States for reasons of health. Here he lived another 16 years. On March 30th in 1939, he died in Jackson, Michigan, in the age of only 62 years. Now to the products of the factory Steiff. Here I show you a picture from a catalog original 1910. It's nice to see here the factory in Gingen. Looks like very modern. And above in the sky I counted 29 roller kites. And that was not for playing for the employees. It was very interesting. Every built kite was flowing in before delivered. I think a very good quality. Today it's impossible. They give the product to the people and hope somebody call and says that is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong. So here you see another picture from this catalog. Pictures how to assemble the kite. It's very nice to see the people. Looks like a uniform. Children in the former times, I think, always the same clothes. And that is a wonderful picture. It shows a lot of roller plants in different sizes. And to recognize the relation and the size, I think it's very good that the man is standing here. It's amazing. The sizes on this picture from 1.50 meters here, like this size, until the last in the row, 3.60 meters. Later I come to the sizes. So here we see another page from the catalog 1910. I told you he used the kites for articulation, put names on it. You know this name? Oh, great. The German first pilot, Hans Grade, we call him. Here a picture of a bag with kites. On the right corner you see a nice picture. I have a larger one later in an enormous size of the roller plan. So here's a nice view of the catalog. Shows some other toys, the upper pictures. And here use the camera to take pictures with the kites. I think there are only one example in the world I know. It serves to attach a camera in order to make air images, AP. I only know one example worldwide, and this is shown in the moment in the German Museum of Technics in Berlin, and the owner is Scott Skinner. I think you know Scott Skinner. He is the owner of the own example I know of this, you call it, let me see, tripod. Tripod, it's the right name in English. And I'm very proud. I give a large original Steiff roller plant, 2.10 meters in this exhibition too. So I want to have an old original Steiff kite to this original Steiff tripod. Now I'd like to show you a wonderful picture. It shows the manufacture of the insight into the manufacture of the Steiff factory. and you see the well-organized process of assemble and not construct, to make the kite. Women are sitting on the machines, sewing machines. Here's the interesting point. The point of interest. A man is adjust the bridle of a kite. It's hanging on the wall, and he can take it and can adjust it and make final adjustments on the kite. I told you every kite was run in by an employer before it came into distribution. Then a wonderful picture for all collectors. It's inside to the warehouse, 1914. It's clear to see that the rollerplan kites only presents a small percentage on the toy production. Most of the things are little soldier puppets and animals and only the factories. They're small percentage of kites. So, what? Now we are on the way from the bears to the kites. We leave the bears and came to the kites. Here, a very, very rare kite, a rollerplan 80/2. I'm a little bit sad. I missed one on the forbidden word, eBay. Yesterday night there was one on eBay. I spent 454 euros, but was not enough. 2 people goes to me. I think he's gone, 600 or 700, and the winner must be people from the toy scene, not from the kite scene. The toy people spend more money for rare items because the kite people need the money to travel and to. The Steiff collectors don't travel. So here is clear to see the signature future, the imprint, knob in the ear, and the metal knob. Not on this bears, on the original Steiff bears, you found it. Yes. Here another size, a 90/2 from 1936. You see, in this imprint there's a bear head. Same on the case with a knob. Here are the sticks. I don't know, imprint, doesn't matter. Another size, 100/2. That's from 1960. By the way, the description of the kites and the numbers before the slash means the height, how high it is in centimeters. The number behind the slash means how many wing panels we have. That's always the same. Here the next size, 120/2. You see how big it is? I pointed a €1 coin to see the size. But you don't think how much a euro coin is. You are lucky you don't have euros. I think like a quarter. That's a quarter. Or a SPA. Do you know the SPA? Was in former times, I stood in the United States, a coin, a size like a quarter, but it was a dollar.
Yes.
But it was funny to pay with them. Then nobody liked this money.
Yes.
And I got a nice experience. I visited the mine in Denmark. And I bought a whole roll of SPAs, Susan B. Anthony, very nice person. And then I paid with SPAs in the gift shop. And these people said, "It's impossible, sir." Oh, that was a nice discussion. And I spent 1 hour with the director of the mine And I got nice presents from him. Don't tell it in the world. It's very funny. So, here you see one of my treasures. This pictures not made for mine. My one is hanging in the exhibition. It's the Roloplan 152 from the period 1916 to 1920. I made this picture especially for Bob. It's made in the Lilienthal Museum Anklam. That's the place I think we met us in 2 years for a workshop. For Tom, not for Bob. Tom. There's a large difference to the smaller sizes. Up the size 150/2, they print the description, the assembly description on the flight panels. It's very nice to see. That's a treasure. Now we came to the next size, the Roloplan 180. Here we see a 183. That means 1, 2, 3 wing panels. And here, that's an original. That is a replica 182 made by a colleague of me, Wolfram Wanrich, later more to this person. Here, one of my another treasures, Roloplan 210/2 in a wonderful condition. That's the kite I gave to the museum in Berlin in the moment for, I think, until December. If you go to Berlin, a nice exhibition, wind forces. That's the point I will give some day, if I not still alive, a big piece of my heritage will go into this museum. Wonderful place. So here I got another picture from one of my other treasures. It's a very, very, very old 242 and shows very clear the structure of the material and the old knob on the imprint. Knopf im Ohr. So, there are patent numbers and then numbers on the production numbers on some old kites too. Here we came to another purpose of this kite. Before I show you, before I say something wrong. Yes. That's the Roloplan 363 and 362. That is an original. It was produced for military purposes. To be used as a drone for the artillery from 1912 till 1980. It serves the same purpose just like later Paul Garber did with his Garber target kites. It's a shame to shot on a kite.
How big was it?
3 meters 60. 360. The right picture shows a 362 military version. Wolfram Wanrich built it for Jan de Sebelade. I hope you met this fantastic Belgian guy someday. He is very nice and he knows everything about military kites in the world. And now, before I told you, one of the catalog pictures shows a nice kite in the right down corner. Here's one of my favorite pictures. It's made 1910 in a height of 7 meters 20, a Roloplan, and 3 wing panels. And I like it because it shows not only the kite, it shows the people in this time. They were the closest were to stay. It's fantastic. So, now the Roloplan lecture stops and we go to another kites. produced by the Steiff factory. Here's a picture of a very rare Eagle 240. A friend of me, Frank Schulz, is the owner. We are very proud. We can play with them. We fly this if the weather is dry. It's made in the period 1934 to 1941. It's difficult to say in which year. We found nothing about the production in the Steiff archive. Here, a little eagle, you saw it in an exhibition, 3 examples. Some picture from a catalog and one real made in the year 1937. I think it's in Germany a problem for collectors to find real things from these times in a really good condition. Most of them came from the United States or foreign countries because the war in Germany destroyed a lot of nice collecting things. Here pictures from the catalog shows very nice winders, very unique winders to pull up the line. This kind, I think we find it in the United States and Canada too. So, here I like to show you differences between the material for the connections in the back of the bird. Here you see rusted iron things handmade. This in 1957, you see it's a very professional industry connector, industrial produced. And here's a picture of a description, this assembly description, shows very nice in this times the internationality of Steiff in 3 languages. You see Steiff Vogelratten in German, Steiff bird kite, Le cerf-volant, what do you call it? You speak French? The last word now? Cerf-volant, more, I don't know. I know a lot of I speak a lot of languages, but only kite words. And the words I need for the forbidden word eBay. So, and here it's a very, very rare picture from a very, very, very rare kite. I'm very proud to own this kite. I got the possibility years ago to buy this kite from our friend Daniel Henschel, later more to this person. It's the Rotaplan, produced in the period of 1953 until 1954. It's very nice. I'm born in 54. And that flies very well. And you see this very modern construction of tail. Looks like a little bit coming from the Mars or whatever, like a space ship. And it's I assembled only 1 time a year because this fabric is a special kind of plastic. And I think someday it will be destroyed if I build it together. Here you see the tail with plastic chips and Steiff Rotaplan 555. What the number mean, I don't know. 555 sounds good. So now we came to special kites. They are constructed by Richard Steiff. Richard got a lot of studies and draws about kites they never built. And one of our friends, Wolfram Randrich and Walter Diem, a very famous kite builder, kite book author, studies the archive of Steiff and found a lot of drawings and notes from Richard Steiff and decided to write a book. Here, that is a book. the drum designer Richard Steiff with all the pictures. And we think we are sitting someday together and decided, okay, let's build all these kites. And I will show you 17 pictures. That means 17 kites. Wolfram Wandy built it together with an old kite colleague, Werner Agrim, later more. Now he is 90 years old. And they built it. The whole complete series goes to Scott Skinner. He wants to have it. And one or two kites you can recognize. They are hanging in my exhibition. You see the airplane in the middle, in different colors, it's hanging there. Interesting is this one. I think that's inspired him Otto Lilienthal. And this one, the quadruplan. I got it in an exhibition in 2 meters 45. It was very difficult to make these kites fly. It needs a lot of time to adjust the bridles and to find out what Richard means. And I really don't know if Richard was to make really these kites. I think it was only studies. So, I told you Werner Agrim. From birth to flight, we start in the past, and now we are in this times. This nice looking man, I'm very proud to be a friend of him. He celebrates on the 21st of June his 90th birthday, and he builds kites for more than 55 years. It's amazing. Here in the middle you see in 1951 Richard and his wife Carla. She died 2 years ago at the age of 93 years. Here one of my kites from Werner, made by Werner. It's a shame I never flew them. I don't know why. It's a problem with some kites I own. I don't. It's too much respect for these things. I only show them. And he stops to building kites. Now he got a new girlfriend, and she make music with him, and it's a new period of life. But he makes a lot of kite friends in the whole world very proud with his kites. So, and what about the future? I told you the name in my lecture before, Wolfram Wandy, this nice looking man. You see it here on the beach at Farnö with the roller kite. He made it for me. That's me. And on the right side you see Werner and Wolfram and his wife Hildegard. She got a manufacturing, that's the label. And I think Wolfram continues building kites in the tradition of Werner Agrim and Steiff. So here is one of the interesting people I ever had met, Daniel Henschel. Daniel knows everything about everything from Steiff. That's amazing. You met these people, you show him an old toy, and he said, wait, please, let me think over. 3 minutes later, he tells you how many of these toys are produced and why not. It's amazing. And sometimes I met him in his flat. It's crazy. We are sitting there, drinking beer, sounds strange for a Canadian, and drink and talking about everything he got in his life things. And if somebody have questions about toys, please, later I will give my email address. You can write me and I make a contact to him. He answered everything and all. He's fantastic, isn't it? So, And I think from bears to flight, that is a never-ending story. You know this nice-looking man? That was on Paul. That was on a historical kite workshop at the Wasserkuppe. The theme was Gottlob Espenlaub, a German famous glider constructor. And Paul got his new kite from Wolfram made.
Wolfram made it for me, and we flew it from the Wasserkuppe. And the Wasserkuppe is the home of German gliding
Yeah.
from way back, and it's the most famous gliding place in the whole world.
But it's crazy. We flew kites on an airfield. We never can do this in the world. The tower said, okay, you got 2 hours or what, 1 hour in this section? It was amazing.
It's in the Rhone Mountains, and if you go to Germany, you must go there. It's got a
A
wonderful
lot of
museum
it's
of
part of history. You can smell the history. So, who you? I stay not for fun. Okay, Tom. What is the name? You told me? Yeah.
Right,
All right.
very good.
Okay. Tom, the second, please.
Okay, Wolfram Ranich is the son of your friend who is continuing to produce kites.
Very nice. Please, the couple in the upper. How big is a roller plant? 180.
180 centimeters?
Yeah, right. And especially for you, the fourth.
55?
75.
75. He said,
75.
he
Yes,
said,
okay.
he said 55
And
on
I
the
was
screen.
ready
It
for
said
75.
75.
You're right.
Very good, very good audience. So, I think, but some word, I have it written down. I think it's not on the screen. Now, our journey into the past ends. And I guess you will agree with me in my final conclusion that as long children and adults play with toy bears, and as long as grown-up men play with kite, Richard Steiff will always be remembered. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I thank you.
Yes, from the Bell family, I would like to thank Ulli for his presentation today with a little present and a little certificate.
Please, take pictures.
Oh, you want yours to live?
Turn off, the white is confusing.
Yeah,
everybody.
shut, yeah.
Okay.
Close down the computer.
Please, you can do it. I'm a man.
Oh, it's not my computer. You know what we
Escape.
can do? We can do that. That's good.
Escape.
Just end the program, actually, no?
Right. That's what I was
Or just step over to the side by the bell.
Yeah, actually, you step over and
Just
just
step
step
over there.
first.
So-
Yeah, that's good.
There we go.
gonna do.
This little device is an original tetrahedron cell.
I don't believe it.
It's from 1906.
Oh.
It was never covered with red silk, as typically these are covered with. But this was manufactured in large numbers to build all those guys. And we're going to give you this in token gratitude for your show today. And this little certificate that gives it the authenticity it deserves.
Yeah. Should I say something? I don't know.
No.
Thank you so much.
Can you shake David's hand again, please?
Thank you.
Thank you. That's, concludes this part of the program. We'll reconvene after lunch when we'll have Canadian kite historian Bob White, or a son call him. Aside from that, please enjoy, there's a small cafeteria upstairs, and
surely fine restaurants inside downtown Quebec.
I leave my kite here. Wow.
Wow. You know, my picture there is called.
Sorry about the president.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt was using the shoot.
I really don't know if it's true, but it's a nice story.
Well, it is true, because in America, so did Steiff know the story? Did he call him Shakespeare?
Yes.
I talked to people. No, zero.
We had such a good
No,
time.
I don't know the thing.
Became citizens in this very building.
Tom's here. You should get George.
George, are you gonna come in this week?
Yeah, I want to get this.
Oh, here it is.
I want these things if I can, just to know that that's yours.
You know,
When?
if they
Cannot be.
became landed immigrants, they are covered by the,
Would somebody winding him down? If I get a couple of guys just hanging out. Okay.
Paul Chapman.
you know, but
Sorry, yeah.
we became Canadian citizens, and two knee operations, and it has cost us nothing.
Great.
Now, we do carry, he was retired from the US Forest Service, so we still carry that insurance. But the only thing it's ever had to pay for in us is a semi-private room in the hospital. You know, that was it. I don't know why they can't
Move
cover.
off to the dark room to develop it.
I don't even know.
No kidding. Really?
I've got a couple of broken. Wow.
In the moment, I don't know. It needs more time.
I know.
Because I
Yes, thanks.
You have to spend so much things, you need to.
No, they've given tons of, they were.
And we're living in the Washington area.
But
And where is it?
the actual secretary is outside of the engineer, this is the other half is, because he lives in the back.
Right.
Yes, they were concerned.
Which is.
They go all.
Everybody was going out Georgia Avenue, and they left this little neighborhood.
Yeah.
Great big tree, it's just like, and it's inside the building.
It's amazing.
We downsized it.
Way outside the building.
Yeah, we downsized.
I know.
And to.
Yes, thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Different activities. All turned out well.
One got 2 bedrooms, one was a study, and one was
Yeah, how we connected Teddy Bear so much with.
Oh, it has, okay. I have some of my American guys, they are rolled that made in paper and the plastic starts in the year 1934, I think. 1934. Then I told you something about the GABA target sites for military shooters. That was a strong demonstration made in the end of the 30s. But the original I heard, the plastic was from 1936, 1937.
And they call
Richard Steiff was
The problem is, to keep plastic, the new say it, you keep it from the sun. That's the problem. The sun destroys the connection between the macular leaves.
So Richard Steiff was in Germany.
And I saw, I recognized some of my garbage. I got two that were very blue. And then I got another one. And that was the point for taking the sun. But plastic is not made for forever.
Great. That was fascinating. Great stuff. I mean, a little bit came over the separation.
Next one doesn't start until 1:30.
Employees.
We were a day early as it was.
Oh, were you? This afternoon, I'm doing the bell. Start the bell. I mean, that's what the music about, so it's different to tell the tale, but I'll do it.
It's important that, it's not good that it's material to stop the wind. Plastic ice.
You're gonna do it.
And for some
Okay, all right, because that's a wonderful symbol, and it works.
But this emotion, they the man was standing
For you.
we're 18 in front of the tower, and so him and says, she's playing together.
And the life of the love story.
Oh, I don't understand what I mean. Should I get down? There was
I was a teacher, I'm principal.
and I said, it's
Well, this is
possible to die.
true level of confidence as a superintendent. Yeah, I know. And you know what?
He went to go, I took
Fortunately, in Canada, a direct education is like your superintendent. I was in charge of curriculum, so I still had hands on the kids. But after I retired, I said to my wife, you know, that was very satisfying.
And then we, exactly.
But there was nothing like walking through the halls as a principal to teachers, being in the class. And as a principal, I always would teach things like kite building and stuff like that, so I could get in there. Good for you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I work in the power.
I can't see it, but yeah, I know